Hello everyone. Just outside Ukraine's capital, Kiev, lies Babi Yar Valley, which today looks like an ordinary wooded area. However, in the autumn of 1941, it became the site of one of the largest mass executions in history. This valley, whose silence sends shivers down the spine, witnessed one of the darkest pages in human history during those days. In the early years of World War II, Nazi Germany was rapidly advancing across Soviet territory. With the fall of Kiev on September 19, 1941, everything changed for the city's Jewish population. The German command blamed the Jews for the explosions in Kiev and put into action a plan to cleanse the city of them. No one could have imagined how this plan would turn into such savagery. Posters hung all over the city demanded that Jews gather at specific locations on a specified date. People thought it was a relocation, a registration process, or a temporary evacuation. They took their children with them, gathered their most valuable belongings, and obeyed the order. No one knew they would become victims of a horrific plan that would go down in history as the Babi Yar massacre in just a few days. On the morning of September 29, 1941, thousands of Jews formed long lines. Police and German soldiers drove the crowd towards the Babi Yar ravine. When they reached the entrance to the ravine, their identity papers were collected first, then their clothes and belongings were taken. The increasingly militarized and harsh orders did not escape anyone's notice, but it was too late to turn back. As they advanced deeper into the valley, the screams, gunshots, and muffled roars grew louder. They couldn't see what was happening below. They could only feel it. A few minutes later, the truth emerged in its most painful form. The narrow valley of Babi Yar was filled with the sound of bullets. People were being taken en masse to large pits that had been dug and shot with machine guns. New victims were brought in on top of those who had been killed, and the bodies were piled up in layers. In just 2 days, approximately 33,771 Jews were killed at Babi Yar. This number went down in history as the largest mass murder carried out by Nazi Germany in a single operation. But the tragedy did not end there. In the months that followed, Babi Yar was turned into a veritable death factory. Soviet prisoners of war, communists, Roma, Ukrainian resistance fighters, civilians suspected of being anti-Nazi. Thousands more were killed in the same valley in the same manner. It is not known exactly how many people lost their lives here. Some sources estimate that more than 100,000 people were killed at Babi Yar. However, there is still no clear figure. Towards the end of the war, Nazi troops implemented another cruel plan to conceal their massacre. Prisoners were forced to work, digging massive graves, removing the bodies, and burning them in huge fires. But no matter what was done, the traces of this atrocity could never be completely erased. After the war, the story of Babi Yar could not be fully discussed for years. The Soviet regime avoided emphasizing the Jewish identity of the event, and this tragedy was overshadowed for a long time. However, over time, thanks to testimonies, archival documents, and research, the truth about Babi Yar came to light. Today, Babi Yar holds a special place in Ukraine's memory. This seemingly quiet and peaceful valley is actually a place where thousands of innocent people breathed their last breath. Every step taken there carries a profound warning about the darkness of history and where humanity can be led. The Babi Yar massacre is not just a historical event. It is a painful example of how hatred, racism, and blind ideologies can destroy humanity. Remembering this tragedy is imperative to prevent the mistakes of the past from being repeated, because the darkest periods of history only gain meaning when we remember them, talk about them, and have the courage to confront them.